Hey, what's happening? Have you ever felt like you were stuck in one position when you're trying to play your solos with the pentatonic scale? When I was first starting out, my first guitar teacher used to say, "Hey, Drewski, play the solo right here in this rock box." It'd be like a Leonard Skinner solo or something. But then I'd see people go across the entire fretboard like, how are they doing that? How are they going from east all the way to west across the fretboard? Well, this video will show you how to start to incorporate that into your own playing. Let's take a look. So we're going to use the E minor pentatonic scale as our home base for how this works, because the open strings are actually an E minor pentatonic scale. Check it out. Here's E, here's G, it's an open string. Here's A, that's an open string. Here's B, that's an open string. Here's D, that's an open string, back to E again. So these notes are actually the same notes as the open strings, which is absolutely incredible, but that's a great coincidence for us to have. So what I would do is learn this in E minor first, maybe A minor is next after that, then D minor. There's no real order of operations. You can use the circle of fifths to go through all the keys, or the circle of fourth, which is the circle of fifths backwards. You can learn these in major pentatonic scales and minor pentatonic scales. Start with E minor first, and then kind of build your arsenal from there. So the first thing is, there's 5 positions. So if we go from what I call north to south, here's what they look like. So here's the first position of E minor. Second position starts right here on the octave of that note. Looks like this. So you notice I'm using one finger for each fret to form a position. When I get to these notes, I can use my first and third finger, or I can use my second and fourth finger, but I don't want to use my first and fourth finger. That's a little awkward and weird. That works for bass guitar, but not usually for guitar, for electric guitar. So it's either first and third, or second and fourth. So that's the second position. Third position looks like this. You'll notice here I'm using my first and third finger for that stretch. I think that's a little easier. So that's a little odd shape right there. Fourth position starts on this E note right here. Again, one finger for each fret. The next one starts here, and again, we can use second and fourth fingers if there's a 2-fret span, or first and third. I like the first and third better. So you'll notice that these all start on an E note. Here's the first E note. Next E note starts the second position here. Then your third finger starts on this E note on the 7th fret of A. And then your first finger starts on the E note on the 7th fret of A. And then the last position starts on this E note right here, the third finger on the 12th fret of low E. If you don't know those notes very well, take a look at this lesson right here on the channel. It's the first of 2 of a short series on how to memorize the fretboard. So we have a starting point of here, 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 and here. So our first goal was to memorize those 5 positions. It's just kind of pure memorization. Practice them every day and start to get those under your belt. Take a look at this video right here on the channel, which utilizes triplets and 16th notes for a daily routine to help to memorize the pentatonic scale positions. The next thing we're going to do is something I call the 1-4-1-3 hack. If I play open 3 and then open 2, that shape is going to repeat itself multiple places on the fretboard. Check it out. It's the same thing on the 12th fret up here. Does it here on the 2nd fret on their second position. Check it out. It's the same thing, 1-4-1-3. So that's a cool little anchor for us to help them memorize. Here it is again in the 3rd position, starting on B5, 1, 4, 1, 3. So we have it here, here, here. And again on the 7th fret of A, 1, 4, 1, 3. We also have to remember that everything we do up here repeats itself after the 12th fret. Here's O302. Same thing on the 12th fret. If I'm on the 2nd fret for this, 1, 4, 1, 3, add 12 to 2, you get 14. Here it is again. You'll notice that the dots are the same pattern. Here we are on the 5th fret. Same thing on the 17th fret. Here we are on the 7th fret. Same thing all the way up here on the 19th fret. That's pretty incredible. So that's a great, helpful hint. Everything repeats itself past the 12th fret. The next thing is to memorize the strings one at a time, moving horizontally, going from east to west. We could do that with a little exercise like this. So we're basically playing the open string in between each one. Do the same thing on the A string, starting on the A note of the E minor pentatonic scale. The notes look like this. D string, G string, B string, high E string. So why is this helpful? You can memorize them this way, and it's a different starting point for each one. So doing this with one string will help to start to show you how to go from east to west across the fretboard. We could do it with two strings as well, like this. Pretty cool. Same thing on the A string. You can do that with all the string groupings. Now we're doing two strings going from east to west. Three strings might be a bit much. At that point, we're pretty much playing from north to south instead of east to west. So that might be the point where you're doing three strings. You're kind of just going up and down the scale this way. If you're enjoying today's lesson on how to play all 5 positions of the pentatonic scale, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell for notifications. And in the comment section down below, you'll find links to my websites and other guitar resources. So the next thing we want to do is start to improvise with one of the positions and create some guitar solos. There's a couple of videos on the channel about how to start to improvise with the pentatonic scale. Check out this video right here to get started. So what we're going to do is a little question and answer. I'm going to ask a question, and then I'm going to answer it. Okay, so how are you? I'm doing fine, thank you very much. So we're going to start to create some little phrases within that first position of the pentatonic scale. So once you get that down, we want to start going back and forth between two positions. And that's when things become a little more fun. There's a video on the channel right here about how to start to connect positions together. It's a deeper dive into what I'm talking about right now. You might want to check that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, then I'm going to move into the next position. So the first position was this. Second one starts on this octave of E right here. There's the 1-4-1-3 hack. Remaining notes right there. I'm going to go like this. Going from one position to the other. Pretty cool, right? Now I could make that connection anywhere. I could do it on the B string. I could do it on the G string. I could do it on the D string. Kind of anywhere I want to connect positions, I can do it. So once you get good at doing the first and second positions, now maybe the best thing to do is to do the first and fifth positions. We'll go the other direction. Well, that's kind of cool. And start to learn some licks that way. Now we're going to try to do the first, second, and third positions together. We'll do that slowly. Make sure you check out this video on the channel right here about how to use this 2 riffs to connect all 5 positions on the pentatonic scale. It's a bit of a deeper dive about what I'm talking about right now. So now I'm going to play positions 1, 4, and 3. I'll go this way. You can see I'm starting to utilize more than one position. I'll do that again. I'm going to go here, make my departure on this string, and down on this string to this position. You can go on pretty much any string you want to. I can change positions on the G string. I can change positions on the B string. I can slide, kind of announce that I'm changing, or I could not slide. But what we're doing here is doing the first and second, and then the first and fifth, maybe the first, second, and third, the first, the fifth, and the fourth, kind of learning the positions, working our way out from the first position this way so we memorize the fretboard in a logical progression. Another really cool tip is to play a lick in one position and then try to create the same riff by doing it into another position. So check it out. If I go like this, I'm going to try to do the same thing somewhere else. Well, that was cool. So check it out. I'm going to play a lick right here. I'm going to try to do the same thing somewhere else. And find those notes. And that will help you to start to learn the positions better because you're forcing yourself to think outside of that rock box. That's the B note right there. There it was right there. There's the same note. Let's try it here. Okay, that's cool. So I can start to connect positions together better. Okay, where's that here? There it is. So I could do this. Okay, where's a D note here? There's a D note up here. I can play a lick like this. I could go, okay, so I know that's a B. Where's a B? There it is. I can find the same thing up there, and that works really well. So the goal here is to be able to utilize the entire fretboard without restriction. Once you can do this in E minor, you can try it in A minor, you can try it in D minor, you can try it in every major and or minor key. The pentatonic scale is a vast universe of possibilities. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but we have to learn how to be able to go across the whole fretboard first before we can venture into other things. All right, we'll see you at the next lesson.